Hey, what's going on everybody? Today we're going to be taking a look at macOS Monterey 12.3. So Apple released this along with several other software updates on Monday. So let's go ahead and dive into Monterey and see what's new. Alright, so the first thing of course is universal control. So universal control can be accessed by going into system preferences and then going into displays, and you'll notice that you have a brand new look here in the displays panel. So you can see that it shows your current monitor setups, how you have them arranged and everything like that. It even shows a keyboard and a mouse, which I think is pretty funny. But yeah, so this is my MacBook Air screen right here, and then above I do have a ultra wide display, and then over here to the right is my iPad. So to access universal control, you can see right here it says universal control, and you just simply click on that and you'll see now that you have three new options. So the first one says allow your cursor and keyboard to move between any nearby Mac or iPad. So that's going to allow, of course, if you bring an iPad or a Mac that supports universal control near your computer, then you'll be able to use it. The second option is push through the edge of the display to connect to a nearby Mac or iPad. So if you bring in a new device that has not been recognized yet, you'll actually not be able to go over onto it until you actually kind of push through. So when you move your cursor over to the right hand side of your screen or the left, wherever you have it, you'll notice that there's like a new bar that'll appear on the right hand side, and then you can just kind of keep pushing your cursor over until it goes to the other Mac or iPad. And then the third thing here is automatically reconnect to any nearby Mac or iPad. So that's what I have right here. My iPad is currently sitting right next to my Mac, and it's already recognized it, so you can see it already connected by looking right here on your display. Now on your iPad, if you're going to use that, you actually have to go into your settings. You then have to go to General, AirPlay, and Handoff, and by default on an iPad, at least on my iPad, the cursor and keyboard is turned off, and it's actually not called universal control on your iPad, which I think is interesting. It just says cursor and keyboard beta, and it says allow your cursor and keyboard to be used on any nearby Mac signed into your iCloud account. So I think I'm going to overlay some footage here showing you what that kind of looks like, universal control in action. It's actually pretty cool. I think the possibilities are really just endless about how you can configure multiple Macs or iPads together to have those multiple displays, or ability to control them. You can drag and drop files in between each device and all that stuff. So over time, I'm definitely going to see how I can make this useful in my situation. And then also, you're probably wondering about Sidecar. Is that still a thing? Yeah, Sidecar is still a thing, and Sidecar allows you, of course, to use an iPad as another monitor, so it's actually another display instead of just controlling your iPad. And you can literally go down here to where it says add display, and you can see I could mirror or extend my iPad if I didn't want to use universal control. Well, yeah, that is all about universal control. It is still in beta, but it is available to the public now, so we'll have to see how long it stays in beta. But yeah, very cool technology. I think it's really cool how it requires no setup. That's the neat part there. Also here with universal control, you notice a new icon up here in the menu bar. It looks a little bit different. So this is the universal control icon. It's different than the mirroring one. And if you look really close, it's actually a cursor on the right hand side of it. So if you click on that, you'll now get the option where it says link keyboard and mouse to whatever device that you want to use. And you also have your display settings that appear as well. So yeah, that's universal control here on the Mac. Next thing has to do with spatial audio. So if you have AirPods on a Mac with an M1 chip, then you'll actually be able to use dynamic head tracking and the different spatial audio settings. But that's only with an M1 Mac. So if you don't have one of those, you're not going to be able to use that. Next, there are over 37 new emojis here in macOS. They've also been added to your iPad and your iPhone as well. So yeah, you can kind of go explore those new emojis. There's a ton of new faces, hand gestures, household objects, all sorts of different things, interesting ones. And it's kind of cool because you can definitely tell which ones are new. So yeah, that's all been added. They've also added another voice for Siri. They did this on iOS and iPadOS as well, but you have a voice 5 option right here. So if you want a new Siri voice, you can definitely do that. Also in the podcast application, you can now filter by seasons. In Safari, you can now do translation for Italian and traditional Chinese. Also, the Shortcuts app now adds, removes, or queries tags with reminders. If you use Apple's Keychain, you can now do saved passwords with notes. So those features that I just listed there are all the ones that we saw on your iPad and iPhone. And then finally here on the Mac, you have a battery capacity reading has improved accuracy. So they've changed that for you. And then there's just a few bug fixes here. So one was with the news widget in Today View. It may not open articles when you clicked on it. Also, audio may be distorted when watching video in the Apple TV application. And then the final one was some photos and videos may be unintentionally moved when you organize albums in Photos. And then the only final thing here in Monterey, of course, is the security related update. So you can head over to Apple's security support page here. We'll scroll down to where it says Monterey 12.3. And with all these updates that have been released this time around, I've noticed a ton of security related fixes. So you can kind of just scroll through and read these for yourself. It is nice that Apple fixes these, but it's also kind of scary that this many are out there. I mean, we have a lot of serious stuff like WebKit, there's some kernel stuff in here, all those kind of things. There's all your kernel, several of those. So yeah, quite a few security updates here, but like I said, it's nice that they do fix them. And then also on your Mac, Safari 15.4 was released as well for Monterey and Catalina, and it just kind of addresses some WebKit related items, which is what runs Safari. But yeah guys, that right there is everything new here in Monterey 12.3. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comments down below. But that's all I got for you guys today. Thanks for watching the channel as always, and I'll catch you all in the next one.